What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today I'm taking a look at Final Destination Bloodlines. Although it's never really the final destination, right? Like, especially considering how popular this one was, you know there's gonna be another one. Even though this one literally, like, is like the be-all, end-all of Final Destinations, it's like, no, this is the final destination. They're gonna make another one. I feel it in my bones. Click like, share, subscribe, so that way when they do, you'll be here with me. Hit that notification bell so I can annoy you 24/7. That's what I do on here. That's my final destination, is to be in your subscription feed. I am a blind film critic. Oh, I know that's a thing. I know. It's shocking. Shocking, I know. Surprise! It's not April Fool's. But yeah, other critics say I went into this blind. Well, I actually go into everything blind. So I went into Final Destination Bloodlines blind. I also went into this video blind and into the room that I'm doing this video in, and no idea what's in this room right now. Actually, I do, but that's a lie. So this does have audio description. It's William Michael Redman, which is great. Love that. Deluxe William Michael Redman. Really excited. I love when he's on horror movies. Like, I'm always like, typecast this dude. He's got such a great voice for horror movies. The audio description track is is great. It's the gore, if you're a horror movie fan, you're like, does it go into it? Yes it does. Yes, the gore. And also the little, like, because Final Destination is all about, like, the, can you see death coming? It's like the game Mousetrap that you had to set up, where you, like, drop the marble and then it rolls around and it does all these different things. Feels kind of like that. Feels like kind of like playing dominoes, and you flip the first domino and you're watching the whole thing go, and watching it go all the way through to the end. So there's this, like, there are all these scenes where it plays with all of these possible death traps, and it's super interesting. So I'm gonna go moderate spoilers on this, but not heavy ones. So I have to discuss some parts of the film. Okay, so the no spoiler version movie is, there's a thing, there's a family, there's a premonition, people die, and people try to survive. I have to tell you what the thing is and who these characters are. So, we start off with this sort of in the past. There's this young lady who goes on a date with her boyfriend to this fancy restaurant with these glass floors, which seems immediately terrible. Like, an immediately terrible idea. Like, I don't even go on glass bottom boats because I'm like, I don't trust this. Of course, if you can look at me, you know that I'm a little big. So me standing on glass is like, no. Nope. I don't trust it. So, and then putting a whole bunch of fucking people in the sky on glass? Nah. Not a chance in hell I would have gone up there. I'd be like, we're breaking up. I'm sorry. So I would have never been in this situation. But she's like, oh my God, I've heard about this. This is supposed to be really fancy. So she's really excited to go up there with her boyfriend. And she goes up there and shit hits the fan. Quite literally. Quite literally. This film plays with pennies a lot. This film really hates pennies. Like, the coin that we just decided we don't need anymore in America. We're just like, nah, I don't need that. I wonder if these movies translate, like, for countries that don't have pennies. Like, what's that like for you? Anyway, because, like, the whole film hinges on pennies, basically. So there's this kid that's playing with pennies, and that's how, like, the Final Destination, like, death movement starts, is this penny goes on this journey, and it causes this thing to happen. He keeps throwing pennies like this kid's a dick, basically. He's a little kid. People keep telling him to stop doing things and keeps doing them anyway. And this like sort of like a chain reaction of events happens, and basically everybody in the restaurant dies. Basically, I'm not going to tell you how they all die. I'm trying to, again, moderate spoilers, but they don't die because it was the premonition that started the movie. So our main girl here, she had the premonition and she stopped it. Congratulations. So cut forward and we meet Stephanie, who's actually our lead, who is the granddaughter of the lady who had the original premonition. And she had that premonition and has been having this weird ass premonition that is her grandmother's premonition for like the last 2 weeks, so she can't sleep. And she wants to figure out why. So she kind of goes back home to her family, and we find out that her mom dipped when she was young. So she was just kind of raised by her dad. She has a younger brother. She also is really close with her uncle and his family, like her cousins. He has a couple kids. And that's going to be the main cast. The uncle has 3 kids, Eric, Julia, and Bobby. And then her brother's name is... forgot it, honestly. It's not Eric or Bobby, though. So, yeah, it's... Stephanie goes out to... she's trying to figure out where her grandmother is because she wants to talk to her grandmother about this premonition. She eventually figures it out, and then she goes out to this death trap of a house. This is hilariously the worst way to hide from death, is that this woman has built death all around her. Essentially, there's like a barbed wire fence or all these like sharp protruding objects outside of her house. It's the weirdest place to hide from death. Like, you would think that you'd want to like hide in a cave where there's nothing there. You know, like you would want nothing around, nothing sharp, nothing that could be used against you. But basically, like death, all it needs to do is throw like a nice little F1 tornado her way to throw some of those sharp objects back at her house. But Stephanie goes inside and her grandmother's like, and she's basically been living in like paranoia, hiding from death all these years. But her grandmother has put together this book because what she's figured out is her original premonition is what created all of the other Final Destination movies, which doesn't make any sense because the kids died and then but their parents didn't. So we didn't really think this one through. It was really tough though. I know, like it was, but basically what this film is suggesting is that because she had this original premonition that and saved all these people's lives, that the film has slowly been working its way through all of these families. And what Stephanie learns is that her family's been safe because her grandmother's been hidden away, but now her grandmother has cancer anyway, so she's going to die, which is going to open it up so the next generation is set to die. But what it does is it wipes out from the top down. So like it'll go like parent to child to eldest to middle to youngest. So she's able to figure out the death sequence pretty quickly because it'd be grandmother and her uncle is older than her mother. So her uncle would be next, followed by oldest brother, middle child, youngest child. And then it hops over to her mother, then her, and then her brother. So that would be the order of sequence. And death is trying to get the last family that has escaped. And also the one other person who escaped was JB, who is Tony Todd, who's been warding people for all these years. And he's been safe because the grandmother's been alive because she has to die. He was the last one to die, technically, in the sequence. So death can't move on to him until it moves past her. Something like that. He explains it. They go visit him. So then it's all about he explains also that there was a girl that cheated death at some point because she died and then was brought back to life. So that becomes a huge thing that these guys try to, the remaining ones, by the time they figure out that information, try to make happen for them, is the death and resuscitation. So, yeah, and then after that, it's pretty much a series of really gruesome deaths, and then leading up with Stephanie sort of trying to figure out how to stop things before it gets to her and her brother, as it works its way through the family. And I kind of told you the order, and so you know it's going to work. There is something that's really interesting with one of the people, that is fun, and they play with it, and I kind of, it works and it doesn't work. It works because it makes the film more interesting, because there's a thing that you don't know about one of them, and but then also it's like death is still coming for them anyway, which is so weird. So like either way, it just doesn't make any sense. Like I didn't understand it at all. Like there's this thing that suggests that one of the characters, that death shouldn't be coming for them, death is still coming for them. They're like, this is why I'm impervious to this because of this thing, and you didn't know this about me. You know. But yeah, that still comes for them. And I'm like, are there rules anymore? So I like this movie, like as a standalone movie, just sitting there, and from a horror movie standpoint and audio description standpoint, like amazing, chef's kiss. The audio description on this is great. All the deaths were super gory and explained really well. Savage, like savagely. I mean, the whole opening sequence is just, everybody dies in like horrendous ways. just awful ways. I mean, so many bodies too, and like the film creatively finds a way to, instead of it just being like everybody falls through the glass all at once, it's like, no, like some people catch on fire, somebody has like a piano fall on them, you know, it's just all these various things that happen. Somebody gets impaled, somebody gets cut in half by like an elevator. It's just like, it finds all these different ways of killing people in gory, horrific fashion. And then everything else after that is super gory. Somebody loses their head essentially through like a head explosion. Like it's basically something hits their head and causes it to explode. There's like a lawnmower that runs over somebody's head also. Somebody dies in a garbage truck. I can't even describe to you one of the deaths. It's so bizarre. I actually kind of hated it because it was too much. It was so fucking weird. It was so weird. So yeah, there are a couple that'll stand out to you. But and then the ending to the film way overplays its hand. It's like, we're gonna be cute now with the penny. And yeah, I don't know. It's just I guess death, right? It just comes. But yeah, it's interesting to see how they've tried to tie everything in without actually thinking about it, because in the original, their parents didn't die. Like they weren't all orphans. You know what I'm saying? Like their parents weren't all included in these kill sequences. So according to this, they would have needed to kill the parents first, because the reason that the kids died in the very first, we're going all the way back to the beginning. First Final Destination, Devon Sawa, Ali Larter, Kerr Smith, Sean William Scott. So that Final Destination, where they had the premonition about the plane. The problem is that according to the rules that this film has laid out, it works its way generationally. So it was working its way through people who were supposed to be at this restaurant. And she even includes the plane. Like the plane's picture and stuff is included in her book. Like she's grouped this in as being one of the events and has tied people to it. But those people didn't lose their parents. You know what I'm saying? They had parents that were still alive and the kids died anyway. But according to this, the parents would have had to die first because it works its way generationally down. So like grandparent to parent to child, not child to parent to grandparent. So unless but then it doesn't really say that there would have been a lot of people escaping death so far in the series for these parents to not be. The film wasn't really worried about that before the franchise, about showing us a whole bunch of like orphans with dead parents. So yeah, it was all about the actual event and the premonition that they had for each one of these events. So it doesn't really make sense. It's a cool concept, it's a nice thought, and it works its way here. But the fact that they try to group it into everything, I wouldn't have tried to group it into these other events. I would try to group it into. But she's got this like death book, and it's got all of the other Final Destination movies in it, and like all these clippings and everything to insinuate that she's responsible for all of this, and that everybody who's ever died a Final Destination movie was because she saved like hundreds of people from this restaurant collapse. It's very weird, but it kind of overplays a little bit, but I don't mind it. I don't mind it too much, but it does kind of keep me from going, this is the best movie I've ever seen, because it's one of those things that you just have to take that like leap of faith, turn your brain off and just jump into it and go, yeah, okay, that makes no sense, but I'm on the ride with you. But I think fans, this franchise has gotten increasingly gorier and gorier and gorier as it's moved along. The first film is not that gory. Like, really, it's not. It's not that gory. It even like it even kind of leaves you with like survivors at the end too. Like, I know technically it tries to suggest that, you know, when you get to Final Destination 2, that like some of those people didn't survive, they didn't make it, and like it's just like Ali Larter, but it cuts in a way, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, they could have gone, you could have written Final Destination 2 differently. So yeah, it saves a lot of people, and that's the thing. And then every other franchise has tried to be like, ooh, let's up the violence, let's up the gore, we have to up the kills, we have to up the sequence, the premonition. Everything has to be bigger and bloodier. So this one does that. This one tops all of the other ones and figures out a way how to kill more people and how to make it bloodier and gorier. So get ready for people to die in really creative ways, truly creative. There's one death in here that I honestly, it's so creative, I'm not sure it makes sense, but it's definitely a way to go. It'd be like sort of like if I told you, like, there's the guy who dies because his whole body is sucked into a Mountain Dew can. You'd be like, that doesn't make any sense. Well, it happens. It happens in this movie. Whole body into a can. You'd be like, what? You would definitely need more information. So if I tried to explain to you one of the deaths in this movie, you would need more information. Like, it's still one of those things that you'd be like, I have to see this to believe it. Like, I have to listen to the sequence. It's so nuts. It's by far the most bonkers death I've ever seen in a Final Destination movie. So, prepare yourself. Gird your loins. Love the audio description track. Kudos to William and Deluxe and all those people. It's expertly balanced. The gore is really good. I kind of like this. I didn't think I was going to. I was not excited to see this movie, which is why you're getting this review super late, because I'm like, I don't know. I'm probably going to review all the Final Destination movies from my spooky season in October. It's just because we had a sequel this year, and I don't have any reviews for any of the other Final Destination movies. But Final Destination Bloodlines. Yeah, honestly, I think this is not the worst film of the franchise, that's for sure. and I kind of enjoyed it. And it moves pretty easily, moves pretty quickly, does kind of what it promises to do. So I got nothing but like for this movie. I don't know what to say love, but I like this movie a lot. I'm gonna give Final Destination Bloodlines a B plus. I think it has a promise and it makes good on its promise. So I think horror fans will rejoice with this. I think there's a reason why this did well in theaters. Um, and this is a franchise that has shown that if you just get a director that understands what this film is, you can make one, you know? So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, love you. See you guys on this.